Hey guys, how's it going? I'm here bringing you another EX+Analysis video. For this video, I'll talk about Cyan and Fujin. At the end of the analysis, there's going to be a should you pull section giving you my recommendation on pulling or not. I'm going to go over their strengths and weaknesses as well as which artifacts you should be aiming for. Finally, we'll see together if they are worth investing and how much you should invest in them. Before we begin, I want to remind you that these are just my opinions. You should always do some research on your own before deciding on things, and hopefully this video will help you in that. So let's begin. Starting off this video with Cyan, this character has been a meme for his entire life in this game, up until tomorrow that is. In the video's description, I will have the base version of both Cyan's and Fujin's EX skills that will not include any EX+ upgrades since we're going to talk about this later on. Cyan's rework makes him a longevity monster, giving him a total of 20 skills to work with throughout the stage, but those skills have, in my opinion, a low brave hit count, and they are both single target, which means Cyan's damage will be way lower without a battery character in your team. His EX is slightly slow and will be up after exactly one use of his concentration skill and 2 uses of his transform skills. My guess is that with Selfie, his EX will be up after 1 concentration, 1 skill and 1 HP attack, so you basically save 1 skill use of him in every rotation. Given the large amount of skills he has though, I would say he is not that much worth pairing with Selfie as other units are. Please note that both of his concentration skills have now become free skills with instant turn rate, and they do not increase their turn count, so really they have no downside. All of his skills and HP plus attacks ignore defenses, which is amazing for a DPS unit, but keep in mind that around August, at the end of the next weapon era, the bosses will change from increasing their defenses to taking reduced brave damage, which essentially nerfs units that ignore defense. Cyan's EX Plus gains the ability to dispel the enemy and clear all debuffs from your team at the same time, which is something really strong and unique for a DPS unit. His first skill will also dispel 3 buffs from the enemy if you break the target with it or you attack a broken target, so Cyan actually becomes a very consistent dispeller. Recommended artifacts for Cyan are 108 attack and 330 max brave, with buffed attack being a good third option. Now let's see if he's worth investing in or not. If Cyan is one of your favorite units, then I'm sure you've already decided to max him out. Otherwise, there are more things to consider. Even though Cyan has the ability to dispel and cleanse, his main role is definitely a melee DPS unit. That said though, I would definitely take his dispelling ability into consideration before deciding on building him if I were you, but that is if and only if you are liking every other dispeller in the game right now. As a DPS unit, he's really strong, and his defense ignoring skills will keep him relevant for almost 2 months, which is more than enough to ask for in a gacha game. You can definitely skip this unit if you already have strong DPS units like Aranea, Jack, Shadow, Vayne or Lightning. Now let's see how much you should invest in Cyan if you decide to do so. Investigate Bug in Cyan gives a moderate brave potency boost to his EX and slightly more overflow up to 180%. 1 ingot will give him 50% more max brave and 30% more attack. 2 ingots will allow Cyan to begin the stage with his EX buff called Samurai's Pride, which increases his attack, his initial brave and max brave. Finally, if you invest 3 ingots in Cyan, his EX changes to a 5-hit single target brave plus HP attack executed twice, with tremendously bigger potency and overflow up to 200%. If Cyan is at least 80% HP, when he uses his EX, it changes to its plus variant, which will dispel 3 buffs from your target while cleansing every debuff from your team, a very powerful ability. I think Cyan is fine to be used as a Dimensions End fodder unit with his base EX weapon, but if you want to invest in him, you gotta go all the way, since Cyan is a DPS unit and anything less than 3 ingots is a big waste. Now let's move on to Fujin and see what the Wind brings for her. I was a big fan of Fujin in the EX era, mainly because she was one of the first units that could do the Imperial plus Team Enchant combo to further boost your team's damage. She will return shortly with a very nice rework and a brand new EX. First of all, I wanna go some of the issues you may find with Fujin, and trust me, I've thought really hard about finding a serious weakness for her. The brave hit count on her skills is arguably low for this month's standards, the same issue Cyan has as well. Fujin's potential is limited in single target fights because it cripples her first skill damage and she can't take advantage of her splash or the multiple launches with her EX. Fujin is not a selfish unit because she provides damage boost for your whole team through her Wind enchant. She has some very nice auras that boost attack, Max Brave and Initial Brave, and she can battery with the team with both her EX and her HP plus attack, which is one of the best ones I've seen so far. Something unique that Fujin has is that she can delay all enemies with her Bloom skill, which can be useful for setting up launches with her EX. The recommended artifacts for Fujin are 108 attack and 330 Max Brave, with her C50 passive as a good third option. Now let's see if Fujin is worth investing in or not. If Fujin is one of your favorite units, you should max her out because you should always take your favorites over meta. Every character is able to compete in Chaos nowadays with their EX+. Units with the Imperial and Team Enchant combo are very rare, and the other one right now is Lulu, who is far from being an impressive unit. These units, however, can help any team bypass elemental or type resistances, and that is very valuable. If you manage to get your hands on Fujin's EX, then I would definitely consider investing in it if your resources allow it. Now let's see how much you should invest in here if you decide to do so. Investing a book in Fujin gives slightly more potency to her EX and 120% overflow. The EX will now apply the Wind Imperial to all enemies for 4 turns as well. 1 ingot gives the usual 40% attack and max brave for Fujin, which is pretty basic. 2 ingots will allow Fujin to begin the stage with her generic Max Brave buff and her new Silent Wind buff, which is a party aura that grants attack, Brave regen and the Wind enchant. Fujin will also be in her Wind stance from the beginning for 6 turns or until you refresh it with another skill. Finally, if you decide to put 3 ingots in Fujin, the Brave hits on her EX are increased from 6 to 10, the total potency is increased tremendously, and it can overflow up to 150% now. The EX will also now battery your party based on 20% of the damage you did before launching the enemy and enabling all other enemies to be launched in the following turns. Finally, Fujin gains access to her HP plus attack, which is a 3-hit Wind ranged Brave plus HP attack with 120% overflow that will battery your team based on 50% of the damage you did with it. In conclusion, I think Fujin can be used in a single dimension Zen stage with her base EX like Cyan, or with just her book upgrade for more EX damage. But if you want to invest in her, you will need to max her out with 3 ingots in order to capitalize on her EX and gain access to her HP plus, which helps with her longevity a lot. Now let's see if you should pull or not on this banner. What is your opinion on this banner? Is it worth pulling or is it an easy skip for you? Let me know in the comments below. This banner features 2 EX weapons that are brand new to the game, accompanied by Vanille's EX, which is still very powerful. So honestly, pulling on this banner will definitely not leave you feeling disappointed. If you are a new player, this is a great banner to use your gems on, to start expanding your roster, since the units are fairly simple to use. But for players with already strong units, you can probably skip this banner safely, considering what's coming this summer. As far as tickets go, I believe it's definitely worth putting some in this banner because you will be happy with any of the EX weapons features in it. And that was it. I hope you stuck with me until the end and that you enjoyed watching or listening to this video. Don't forget to drop a like and also consider subscribing if you like my content. If you want, you can drop by my Discord server where I am always available to talk to. For that, you will find the link invite pinned in the comment section below. Also, if I forgot to mention anything, then let me know about that as well. Take care guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.